Hey, say what's up to Chester again. These are my second video today. I'm trying to film every video. I had a good day. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing the same thing that I wore in the first video that I did last night because today is Sunday and I didn't do a damn thing. And I'm very proud of that. Except this video. So today's topic is John Frusciante is back at the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We've all known that since end of 2019. And they just kicked off the first leg of their tour in Spain. I'm going to see him down here in Miami, August 30th. But, man, they sound great. I love having John back in the band. People are saying that he's a little bit more boring or whatever. How? Like, he's 50, so he's not going to do all the crazy stuff he did when he was 35, 36, but he still sounds great. And to me, his solos haven't been better. So I came across this article. John Frusciante shares 7 tips that will make you a better guitarist. And a lot of it applies to guitar playing and life. But first, welcome to the Misled Song Podcast. Everything music. Hold on. Everything music. Ooh. Try that one more time. Welcome to the Misled Podcast and Songcast. Everything music. All right, so let's go to step 1. Or number 1, never stop pushing yourself. That is an application to everything in life. The first couple of years I was in the Chili Peppers, I wasn't really on the right path. I thought I could be like Flea, where in those days he used to practice and a half hour a day, or some days not play at all. I'm not like that. I have to play every day. I have to practice every day. Some days I don't practice when I feel like my fingers just need a break, but most of all, I have to do some kind of scale, or even if it's just picking it up. And I took this from Rick Beato, actually. Just pick up your guitar and improvise for a minute. Just 1 minute. Anything that comes to your head. Improvise a minute. And I've wrote like 5 songs just doing that. I came up with this riff that became a song of mine called Time Traveler. I also wrote this little tune that me and my band kind of wrote together, but it's called Mental Maze. And, you know, while writing those songs, I try to improve my solo. Like, I'll put that on a looper, and then, you know, I'll figure out which ways, which part of the fretboard I want to use for the solo, how I want to build it up, and you know, and that all goes into knowing how to play the guitar first. Of course, knowing your fretboard, knowing your keys, knowing how to transition, basically knowing how to play. Which, if you're not there yet, keep watching this channel and you'll learn how to play. So with that being said, never stop pushing yourself. That's with everything in life. You never want to stop pushing yourself. And if you feel like you're plateauing, then you're not practicing, or you're doing something wrong that's giving you a ceiling that you need to find a way to break through. Because, like for instance, lately I realized I'm not the best sweep picker, or when I solo, I tend to stay between 140 and 150 BPMs. I'm trying to get up to 200 BPMs. So lately I've been practicing soloing with the metronome. That wasn't anything special, but I've been practicing my picking speed and working on my metronome work, and just being a better, faster player, but staying melodic, because I like being like a blues player, a blues punk player. I originally, you know, started off with punk, which leads to John's next step. On to step two. Sorry, the camera got a little messed up. On to step two, which is staying true to who you are. When I was 18 and the early part of being 19, I was trying to be impressive because I could play fancy things. This is John's words, not mine. Or because I could be intense. That never left, but I figured out pretty quickly that I couldn't rely on that ability to be intense, and I couldn't rely on my technique. Music doesn't really mean anything to people unless you're really giving something of yourself in it and putting yourself out there in a vulnerable way. I think what he means, what I interpret that is, sometimes, and I see this a lot of times where, somebody might be a really good rhythm guitarist on a great lead, or a pretty decent lead guitarist and have good rhythm, but then when they get in front of people, they start trying to do all this crazy, like, some of the best songs are just played with a simple, rhythm. And sometimes, and I think what he meant stay true to who you are is it's like, if you wrote a punk song, and you feel like people will like that, but that's what came out of your heart, play it. Because if it resonated with your heart, it's going to resonate with somebody else's heart. And if one day you come up with something funky that, like, I was trying to be a little fancy there, but some days you might write something fancy, but always play what you feel inside. Don't play what you think other people want you to play. That's key, because if you play what you really feel you want to play, and you play that to the best, it will resonate and people will return the feedback. Let's go to number 3. Don't set out to impress. That's exactly what we were just talking about. If you're a good chord player, or you're a good rhythm player, you can even sit it with a group of people and just start talking crap. You get them to make lyrics with you, and maybe you'll make a song with your friends. It'll be the best song you'll ever play. It might be just a chorus. That might be the best song in your songbook, cause you used your heart instead of your mind, not to set out to impress. I don't know why I did that in song form. But yeah, no, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like not everything has to be... Not everything has to be fancy, play what you feel you can give out the most. And I believe that's what John's trying to say. Number 4, keep it simple and your bandmates will shine. I've noticed that a lot because I'm in a 3-piece band. I've always tried to fill in the gaps, play bass parts with the guitar parts. Like, for instance, this is one of our songs. It sounded good, but the bass player came up with that. Sorry if I'm butchering your bass line, Eloy. And I realized that was a song that made me realize, man, maybe I should just play less and do what John does and focus on playing on the right time and finding the right space, not necessarily playing all the time. So now when he does that walk up, I just do. noticed my playing actually got cleaner because I was letting him do all the, and I was just focusing on keeping that, letting him shine, not always trying to be the one shining. Same thing with the drums, you know. My drummer tends to find his pockets, and I don't have to tell him, he's actually really good at doing that. But if you're one of the drummers that, you know, are always trying to solo and blah, 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 and always trying to play on top of your guitar player, on top of your bass player, sometimes just keeping a steady riff while they're doing something spectacular will make you sound so much better, because sometimes simplicity is, and I think that's what makes the Beatles one of the best bands. They kept it simple. They kept it beautiful. They always knew the right space and the right timing. Same thing with the Rolling Stones, which is why their songs still resonate today, you know, 50, 60 years later. All right, so that was number 4. Number 5, a guitar player's true ability lies in how they interact with the band. That goes back to what I just said. You know, you got to read your bass player. You got to read your drummer. You know, if they're playing something really funky, maybe something simple like excuse me, I'm sorry. Like if the bass player is playing something simple, maybe you just do like a little, like give him a little canvas that he can walk on, or maybe he's playing something simple and he's giving you like something to do a little. You know, and like I said, how do you connect with your band and create that camaraderie can also be the make or breaking point of your band. You know, some people can't, oops, sorry about that. Some people, you know, can never find that communication amongst each other. And that's why sometimes you see great musicians play together and they can't get it, because they don't listen to each other and they don't try to make each other shine. They try to make themselves shine. The key to being in a band is to be as democratic as you possibly can. And I'm learning that every day, because sometimes I push my guys too hard and it causes a lot of band problems, because I'm the one that really wants to play all the time, wants to make this my career, probably more than anybody else in my band. Not saying that they don't want to do it, but sometimes I push them too hard to where, you know, that fun and that interaction loses its worth. So you have to find that fine line. Number 6 is master your dynamics. I believe step 4 and 5 lead into this. Accents and non-accents are, I think, the most important things in terms of sounding aggressive as a guitar player. That's the thing you have to have no control of when you're starting to play, and you wonder, what is it that makes these people on these records sound so much better than me? And I'm playing the same thing. Find your own accents. You know, like I'm not a great player of snow. I haven't warmed up to it, but I work up to it and I warm up to it. It's a song that I can play on repeat, and it's not that hard of a song, but it's a good warm up song. And I haven't really warmed up before I made this video, which is why I'm making a lot of mistakes. So please don't take the playing on today's video as my skill. That's why I did that little. Because I never fail at that one. But basically what he says by master your dynamics is like, you know, find your own rhythm, your own, you know, if you like playing punk, but you also like playing like things that require more that you think will require more skill or whatever, things that you feel would resonate more with people, like, but you also like playing it yourself, combine the two, play for yourself. Play, you're your only audience, and mastering your dynamics. I feel like if you play to yourself and play to yourself as your only audience, your mastering of your dynamics will come a lot smoother, and you'll find yourself a lot quicker, and like you can do both. Sorry, that's a terrible example, but I was just trying to show you how like I like playing punk, but I also like playing like very melodic things. So those are always the two that I'm trying to combine. I haven't done a great job demonstrating it today, but hopefully with what I'm explaining to you, you get my point across. And number 7, switch off your mind and feel the chemistry. Now, I wouldn't say, for me, I can't switch off my mind as soon as I get on stage. I have to make sure my bassist, my drummer, and me, we're all locked in, and if we're not locked in, we have to find out where the problem is. And once that problem is ironed out, then I try to switch off my mind and feel the chemistry and just get in the rhythm with the band. And then, we'll start off with a simple. The bass will hop in. And the drums, and we're all jamming. Oh, Mama Luke, oh yeah, Mama Luke, oh yeah, Mama Luke. All right, everybody, thank you for listening to today's video. So that last little bit was kind of combining all the 7 steps into one. I was playing just what I was feeling. I was playing something that I felt like would resonate to you guys. I wanted to play something simple and reggae, and I broke out to that solo. And once I broke out to that solo, I shut my mind off, and I'm like, let's just ride with this solo and see where it goes. And I was actually really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. But that really what John Frusciante is saying here is learn how to listen. I think is the bottom line. Learn how to listen. Either when you're playing, listen to yourself. When you're playing with your bandmates, listen to your band. When you're listening to other music, listen to their dynamics. Watch a lot of tutorials. Learn as many songs as you can. You can never know enough songs. You can never know enough covers. The more covers you know, the more songs you'll write yourself. And if you're a long-time musician, you'll get what I'm saying. So peace out. Thank you for watching the Misled podcast. Please press like, subscribe, hit that bell button. A lot more great videos coming. Thank you guys for sticking around.